All right, so today we'll be learning about the lower extremity. So first, let's start off with the patella. So this right here is the posterior view. Posterior. And okay, so let's just get straight into it here. This here is called the popliteal surface. All right. Next we have this here would be the lateral femoral epicondyle. And then medial to that, we have the medial femoral epicondyle. So distally, we have the lateral tibial epicondyle. Okay. And then medially, we have the medial tibial epicondyle, or just condyle. And then this inside here would be called the intercondylar notch, because it's inside the two epicondyles there in between. And then moving distally, we have the head of the tibia. Okay. And then the joint right here inside there would be the tibiofibular joint. And you can remember that because it's a combination of the two words tibia and fibula. And that's because it's in between those two bones. So it's kind of hard to see in this photo, but next we have the soleal line, which would be starting up here, starting kind of up here, over here, and it goes down a little bit further. So soleal line. And then that is the muscular origin for the deep calf muscle there. Let's see, anything else here that we forgot? I think that is it for the posterior view. All right, moving on, we have the anterior view. All right, so it's already labeled here, but this is the patella. We couldn't see that as clearly in the posterior view over there. But the patella, and then same thing here, we have the medial epicondyle, and then again the lateral epicondyle, or femoral epicondyle. And then we have, moving distally, we have the tibial plateau here. All right. And then here is the head of the fibula. And then it goes without saying, but the neck of the fibula as well. And this is the fibula shaft. All right, and then moving medially, we have, obviously this is the tibia. The tibial shaft would be down here. And then here, you can't really see in this photo, but it comes out a little bit, and it's called the tibial tuberosity. It's kind of hard to see in this photo, but and then from here to here and up is the shaft of the femur. All right, moving on. All right. So this is the entire this is the top part of the femur here. So this would be the anterior view. Oh, anterior view of the femur. So let's just start off proximally. We have the head, and then the neck of the femur, and then this right here would be the greater trochanter, and then this here would be the intertrochanteric line. Perfect. And then this is the lesser trochanter. It's kind of hard to see in the anterior view. Moving distally, we have the femoral shaft. Sorry, that was really messy. Femoral shaft. And then down here we have medial epicondyle and the lateral epicondyle. Perfect. We saw those in the other view, but and then we have the patellar surface as well here. And a good way to remember which view you are looking at, you can always say that the head is always medial and proximal. So yeah. Okay. So now this over here is the posterior view. All right. So it's kind of like the exact same thing, but this is the head here, the neck as well. Neck of the femur. Oh, okay. This is a little bit different than the anterior view, but around here, you can't see it in this photo, I don't know why, but this is the fovea, which contains ligaments. And then moving on, we have, I kind of covered it there, but this is the intertrochanter crest. And then this right here is the greater distal trochanter. Perfect. Now, moving distally, we have the gluteal tuberosity. and then the linea aspera as well. And then we labeled this in the other photo too, but the popliteal, and this is something that you can see in the posterior view and not really in the anterior view as much. So, and then again we have the lateral epicondyle, the medial epicondyle, and then you can really see in the posterior view the intercondylar notch. All right. Next we have the difference between the male and the female pubic arch and the pelvis. Okay, so so this right here is the male part, and this is the female parts. Okay, so let's just do like a little comparison here. So as you can see, the male pubic arch, it has more of a V-shaped, it's more of a point to it, whereas the pubic arch of a female is more circular and less of an aggressive point to it. And then as you can see, the opening here is much larger in the female area compared to the male. Has a smaller opening. All right, so here's a little zoom in of the patella. So patella. So this right here is the proximal view. And up here is the base. Down here is the apex. And then, sorry, this is the anterior view. And this is the posterior view. So then you can kind of see up here that that's the base. And then this is the articular surface on the patella. All right. And then this here is the apex. Kind of see it better in the posterior view there. All right. All right, now we will be identifying the different parts of the tibia and the fibula. So let's get right to it. So this right here is the anterior view, and this is the posterior view. All right, so most of them are labeled already, but let's get started. So this here would be the lateral, and I'm going to say it's the lateral tubercular epicondyle. All right. And then we have this and this will be the tibial plateau. You can't really see it, but it's like this thin line here. And you can see it more prominently in the posterior view there. And then we also have the medial tibial epicondyle. We have the tibial tuberosity here, pokes out there. And then we also have the fibular head, fibular neck here, neck of fibula, all right. And then this side here would be called the noticus membrane. All right. Moving distally, we have the medial malleus. And this little under here, and this will be the ankle mortis. And then as well, we have the lateral malleus here, as you can see. All right, moving to the posterior view of the tibia and the fibula. So here, as I said earlier, you can see the tibial plateau more prominently. Okay. And then we have the head of the fibula and the neck. We have the lateral epicondyle here. And the medial epicondyle as well. You can see this in the posterior view only kind of is the soleal line. And then moving distally, we have the ankle mortis again. Down here, mortis. And then we have the lateral malleus and the medial malleus there as well. All right, so that concludes the posterior and anterior view of the tibia and the fibula. Next, we'll be going on. This is the medial. Sorry, that was awful handwriting. It's kind of hard to write neat on an iPad. The medial view. All right. Starting off, we have the iliac crest. We have the iliac fossa. We have the articular superior iliac spine. All right. And then we have the anterior, because it's anterior view, and it's the inferior because it's inferior to the superior one. Iliac spine. All right. Moving distally, we have the pubic symphysis. All right. This gap here, we call that the tuberator foramen. Moving on here, we have the ischial tuberosity. And then we also have this flat area here is the ischial ramus. Ischial ramus. Next, we have the lesser sciatic notch and the ischial spine. There, that tip there. And this flat surface here would be called the ischial body. All right. This line here would be called the arcuate line. All right, and then we have the articular surface. Over here. And then here is the posterior superior iliac spine. All right, this here is the iliac tuberosity. And that concludes the medial view. All right, next we have the lateral view. All right, let's get going here. So we have the iliac crest again. We saw that in the medial view as well. And now we have the posterior superior iliac spine. Posterior inferior iliac spine. And we can remember those two because of our previous unit that told us superior is above inferior. This here would be the greater sciatic notch as well. The ischial spine. The lesser sciatic notch. The ischial tuberosity. The greater foramen. This here is the pubic tubercle. And then this flat part in the middle would be the acetibular fossa. Then around here, I'll do this in a different color so it doesn't get confusing. Around there, it's like there, would be the lunate surface. And then I'm going back to my blue. This here would be called the rim. All right. Oh, I kind of covered it there, but this right there would be the anterior inferior iliac spine. Then that there would be the anterior superior iliac spine. Okay. And that concludes the lateral view. All right. Now finally we have the anterior view. All right, let's get started here. So this would be the iliac fossa. All right. Starting from the top here, we have the iliac crest again. It's mainly the same things, they just rotate because they are from different views. But next we have the anterior superior iliac spine. And we have here the anterior inferior iliac spine as well. All right, I'm gonna have to zoom in here. But this right here, the rim here would be called the acetabular rim, as I just explained in the lateral view. You can see that. Now we have the lunate surface. The obturator foramen, I don't really know how to say that. But pretty much any hole would be called, is mainly called a foramen. This here is a pubic symphysis. And then we have the pectineal line. And then we have the arcuate line as well. It's kind of stretched in this photo, but this is the articular surface. And then finally we have the iliac tuberosity. Okay. All right. So this is the anterior view. So let's see here. This is just like putting the photos that we just learned about and putting it in the actual position, how it actually is on the human body. So this here is the iliac crest. This here is the iliac fossa. The anterior superior iliac spine. Let's see what else. We have, you can't really see it in this, but it pokes out a little bit here. And that is the iliac. Oh. Spine. And then this here would be the pectineal, oh, it's horrible handwriting, line. And here would be the articular rim. And then we have the pubic symphysis and the pelvic arch here. And then here's our obturator foramen again. And then these are sacroiliac joints. Boom. So that concludes our lesson today. Thank you.